When I was 21 years old, I was diagnosed with stage 3 Hodgkin's lymphoma. And while everybody else was about to graduate from college and go off and to live life, I'm looking at my own mortality. So I've always, even though that has one of the highest cure rates, I've always known that we're all on borrowed time. We're all on borrowed time. So I'm like, yeah, through hook or crook, I want to be the best at what I do to try to get the most out of this life that we have, because it's not promised to us. So it's not to do it to make it rich or whatever. It's really because I want to have a life that was being worth lived. So.
Well, hello guys, welcome back to my channel. This is definitely going to be a tough one. I struggled with this topic. I decided that I did want to talk about it because it hits close to home, only because my man, the hubster, he really was a fan of this man, and I could really tell that he is saddened by it. I first heard about Kevin Samuels' death yesterday when I was at work, and my sister-in-law texted me to let me know because she knows that her brother is a big fan. So when she told me, I was just like, wow. And I immediately went to social media and I tried to find anything on it. I didn't see anything, but Black Twitter never rests, so Black Twitter was talking about it, but I didn't see any major publications reporting it. So I said to her, like, are you sure? Because I don't really see anything. And she said, yeah, like, that's what they're saying. And I was like, wow. So I didn't say anything to him. I came over where he gets off later than I do, and he brought it up. So we got to talking about the topic, and of course we got to tussling a little bit, and we had a little bit of an argument, which generally happens when we are talking about Mr. Samuels. We've had a pretty, most of what I know comes from him just repeating the things that Kevin has said to me. And I didn't agree with it. I wasn't a fan. And I'm going to tell you why I wasn't a fan. I wasn't a fan because I know who I am as a person. I'm in a relationship that I think is pretty successful. I'm not seeking a high value man, or I'm not seeking to make myself more appealing to some man. So for me, like, his message didn't resonate with me, and I felt like the way he delivered his message was cruel as well. I feel like he would present his opinion, and that was my biggest beef, and it still is my biggest beef when me and my man get to going back and forth. I do not like people who present their opinion as fact. Whenever I present my thoughts and opinion, you're going to hear me say things like, I think, I feel, and my opinion. I'm never going to try to force my opinion on you guys. I'm never going to try to present my opinion to you guys as fact. And I feel like Kevin, and I also feel like, I'm going to be honest with you, I feel like Lovely T is also kind of guilty of that as well. So for a while, I wasn't subscribed to Lovely T because I didn't like that. I felt like she would present her opinion as fact. She wouldn't say it's an opinion. She would say, this is how it is, and this is what it is. And I'm like, no, baby, that's your opinion. But I did eventually subscribe to her because I feel like I want to see her get that 1 million subscriber plaque. I do want to see her be successful. So I subscribe, and and with her, I'm able to take what I like and, leave what I don't. For the most part, I do like her delivery, and I do like, her message. But with Kevin, I did not like his message. I felt like he was very misogynistic. I felt like he was harsh. What the hubster told me about Kevin is that he built his platform being an image consultant to men. He started off as an image consultant to men, and he was equally harsh on the men. He would tell the men they need to get themselves together. He would give them the same type of advice. So where we kind of got into it last night is where I said to him, yes, that may be true, but he didn't go viral until he started with what I consider woman bashing. Until he said that average at best, he didn't go viral. He didn't have those millions of subscribers. He wasn't as on the forefront as he became. And my man didn't agree with it. He felt like he was successful prior, but no, like, everyone will tell you, like, he, in under a year, he amassed the 1 million subscribers, and people subscribed, and that's how a lot of people heard of him after seeing these little clips go viral. And yes, people may have picked the worst of the worst, or the talking points that they didn't agree with to put out there about him, but that's how he got his fame. And I wanted to talk about, I want to pause there and just self-reflect on myself. I'm not successful on YouTube. And I'm sorry for my subscribers if you hear me say it over and over. I do YouTube because I enjoy doing it. I enjoy having a hobby. For me, it's a hobby and I enjoy it. And I like having something to do. I like the community that I've built here on YouTube. I like the interaction and the genuine and overall positive interactions I have with people on YouTube, which is why I continue to do it even though I'm unsuccessful. Over the years, what I have enjoyed being successful and seeing people buy the mansions and the G-Wagons and all the things, the different entrapments that come with success, would I have enjoyed it? Yes, I would love to give my children a different lifestyle. Definitely would love to do it. But for me, it wasn't worth trying to jump on some of the certain trends that I saw, because I felt like there wouldn't be longevity in it, because certain things are trends or fads. They go in and out of style. Would I be happy with myself doing certain things? Like most recently, like mukbangs. Mukbang came and took over. Would I be happy with myself doing mukbangs? And the answer was no. I knew it. If my growth wasn't organic, for me, it wasn't worth it. What I didn't like about Mr. Samuel's approach was the fact that I felt like his message was very divisive. If you are giving the medicine, right? What did that white lady say? You get a teaspoon of sugar helps the medicine go down. If you're giving the medicine, but it's leaving a bitter taste in people's mouth, and people are not happy with the message, and they don't leave you feeling fulfilled, they don't leave you and they've learned something, and it doesn't make their life better, then what are you doing? What are you really doing? It's just become entertainment. And I respect the people who say that they were entertained by him. I respect the people who say they like his message, but I don't respect when people are trying to push this narrative of, oh, it was the truth. He told y'all the truth. Y'all just can't handle it. A hit dog will holler. He wasn't talking to me. None of that's my truth. None of that's my truth. I'm over a certain weight. Who cares? Somebody still wants me. My DMs is lit. Men find me attractive. Like, I'm not a size 6 or 8. I'm not 5 whatever. I'm not a woman. I'm a woman over 35. None of that affect me. No one left me over. I'm not over there left over somewhere hoping for a man, hoping for some guy making over $100,000 to come and save me. No. I find value in myself. I'm valuable because I'm a good person. I'm valuable because I'm kind. I'm valuable because my family loves me. My friends love me. My children love me. I don't need to seek validation in a man. If at any point in my life that I die and I'm unwed, that doesn't make me any less valuable, you know. And that's what I didn't like. I felt like his message was very divisive. I felt like he was telling women that these are all the things that are disqualifiers. This disqualifies you because you don't look like this, because you're not this age, because you're not, in my opinion, you're not that attractive. Somebody's gonna find you attractive, sweetheart, and somebody's gonna find you attractive, sir. There's my mom says, there's a pot for every lid. You just gotta just keep looking. What's the word? Diligent. That's the word. You just got to keep going. You got to brush yourself off. You're going to have stumbles or obstacles that in the road that, you know, you're going to kiss a couple frogs, as they say. You know, you may find people, and this may not be your forever. You may be with this person and it may last for this amount of time, but after that, you may find, if you keep going and your heart is pure and you learn from the mistakes of your past, then you hopefully will find somebody. And if you don't, your value is not wrapped in a relationship. I think that's where I have a problem. If you're not in a relationship, you can find other purpose. Walk in your purpose. What is your purpose here on this earth? Find your purpose. And being someone's mate is not everyone's purpose, and it's not the end game for everyone. Just being someone's little wife or being someone's husband. You know, anybody can get married. You can meet somebody like 90 Day Fiance. You can meet somebody tomorrow and get married. But if it doesn't last, or if the relationship isn't healthy, if the relationship isn't happy, then what are we doing anyway? You know, Mr. Samuels was 2 times divorced. And then he's sitting up on the internet giving you relationship advice. He didn't have successful relationships. And I say that he didn't have successful relationships because one marriage was a year and another one was 3 years. So I don't see for better or for worse than that. I don't see where y'all was in the trenches. Shoot, after a year, you don't even really know when her periods come on good. Like, what was her likes and her dislikes after 3 years? And one of my biggest beefs that with his message was he was telling men not to be stepdads. I have a problem with that. Not only because my man is a stepdad, not only because of that, but I felt like, and one thing I said when my man brought that up to me a couple times, that, oh, he's telling men don't be stepdads because when the relationship is over, then you're not going to have access to the child. And at his big age, I was thinking that most of the women that he's with did not have small children. At his big age, most of the women that he should be, even if he's with a 30-year-old and she has children, we're not talking about toddlers. We're not talking about babies or small children who need you to take them to see stepdaddy after the relationship didn't work out. In my mind, I'm envisioning teenagers or grown at 50-something years old, grown ups. So if you were a positive influence on that child's life in the time that you were there, if you stepped up and you were that man, that male figure, that father figure to them, and you were a good guy to them, they don't need their parents. They have cell phones. My children both have cell phones. Both have cell phones and social media. As he became famous and he was trending over these last couple of years, I feel like had he been a good stepdaddy, these children would have reached out to them on their own without their mother. They don't need their mother's permission. They would have reached out. They would have found a way to get in contact with you because they appreciated the impact that he had on their lives. And even my man had to agree with me, because prior to his relationship with me, he was a stepdaddy. He stepped into that role for children, and when the relationship didn't work out, they did seek him. They did seek him out, and they did appreciate it. They did show him and let him know how much they appreciated him. And I just felt like, as people say, like, oh, y'all just don't like it because he told y'all the truth. That's not the truth for everybody. And I feel like he uses this word that it's anecdotal. Like, if you try to say that this person is the one-off, like someone like a Kiki Wyatt has 11 children, she's on her 3rd marriage, you're telling people that after 2 kids, after a certain age, that they're not going to be desirable, that they no longer have value. And that's not true. There's someone who will love you. I felt like he gave a lot of opinions and didn't give you the tools. And he's telling you to be a better man or to be a better earner. Did he tell you what fields to go into, gentlemen? Did he tell you? Did he help you? Who did he help along the way? Who did he employ along the way? And I feel like what I would want to end on is the irony. There's a lot of irony. Like, if you don't see the irony in his death, ironies of it, it's just like what he warned against. He passed in that manner. He was unmarried. Passed in the presence of a woman, which I'm calling a one-night stand, who happens to not be a black woman, a non-black woman. So we're talking about the advancement of black people, but the message just came off very misogynistic and anti-black women. And then it showed that, yeah, like, he don't like black women. Like, he's not with a non-black woman. But anywho, doesn't make me any, never mind, that doesn't bother me. What bothers me is this whole narrative of a black woman rejoicing. I did see some insensitive tweets and some women who were happy or saying things, making jokes and things, but I feel like it was women. It was a handful. It was a small handful, and it was both men and women. you don't believe me, go look on Twitter, go look through the tweets. I did the deep dive. I was reading through everything. I was up for hours just looking. It was men and women, you know, who were saying insensitive things, but I feel like it was a small handful. Then you have the handful, the larger group of the supporters who were genuinely saddened or genuinely just felt like it's
Rest in peace, Kevin Samuels.
Genuinely indecent to be talking bad about someone after they passed. And then you had the kind of larger group of people who did consist more of black women who were just like I don't care, like didn't like us, or I didn't like his message. I feel like that was a bigger group, but they were people who were trying to push this narrative that everyone was happy and everyone was joy, and I don't feel like that is true, not from what I saw. There's people that are indifferent, and there are a lot of people that are saying like live your life in a way that when you pass that people will be sad. The fact that people aren't sad or people are divided, if you look at the comments, people are divided, which is why I said the message was divisive. A lot of people are divided and they're going back and forth. I have never seen this. I've never seen. I've never seen people just not be overall saddened by a passing, and people are arguing with each other or going back and forth, and it's become a debate, and it literally trended for a day and a half, and it's just so divisive. I just want us to come together. One thing he did say was that like the gender wars are over. I can't tell. I feel like we need some type of uplifting. We need some type of empowering. We need to get on code. We need to be on the same page as a race, as black men and black women, and uplift each other, not tear each other down, not be talking bad about anybody on any scale. We need to get together and uplift each other as a people.
The gender wars are over. Kevin Samuels was just, he bring the conversation, he bring men and women to the table to have the discussion. That's what that was about.
See, I tried to film this before he came up. I know he's gonna have stuff to say. I just would want to ask if I could speak to him, if he's looking down. I would want to know how he feels about the legacy he left behind. If he is happy, if he could have like a Ebenezer Scrooge type experience and get a second chance. Would he do things the way he did things? Would he continue on the path that he was on? Having seen how people feel about him in his passing, would he change anything? Would he want a second chance? Is he happy with the legacy he leaves behind? Is he proud? Like that's one thing I would want to ask. Like, was it worth it? He said something in the clip that by hook or by crook, and that's a saying that I actually use. Like, if you ever watch my videos, you would see I say that by hook or by crook. When you say by hook or by crook, you basically mean by any means necessary. Like, if you gotta do something a little shady, then oh well, if in the end it pays off. But was it worth it? Is that your legacy? I just want you guys to walk in your purpose, find your purpose, and walk into it. And I want you guys to be kinder to people. That would be my message. That would be something that I would want to be my legacy. I lived, I was kind, I helped when I can. I do want to do more philanthropy as I go on. I would want to be in a position where I can help more people. A goal for me is definitely to put people through college or trade school or be an employer, employ people. I want those things to be said. Like, if I pass, when I pass, that people are saddened and they have a lot of positive things to say about me. That's what I would hope for. But that's just me. Guys, let me know what you thought down below. And yeah, the conversation started respectfully, right? Rest in peace, Mr. Samuels.